Thanks for joining me for another episode of A Drink from Upstream. And I've titled this one, Welcome to the Club. And I did it because it seems like what I'm going to talk about today is such a common theme for those who aim to love God and to follow Jesus. And of course, those who are aiming to do so recognize that this is a walk of faith. And faith means that you don't understand everything that is going on in your life. And I want you to know today that that's very common. And it's like, welcome to the club. This is the way it is. So I'm reading in the Gospel of John right now as just a part of my regular daily Bible reading, something that's very good for my soul, as well good for yours. And in John's Gospel, there is this scene, you may be familiar with it, where Jesus comes into the city of Jerusalem. This is toward the end of his earthly ministry. This is before, just several days before the false trial, the crucifixion, and his death. And at that moment, he's recognized as the promised one, Messiah, the son of David. And so the children of Israel, the Jews there in Jerusalem, are shouting, Hosanna, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. And we're told in this 12th chapter of John's Gospel, it says in verse 16, his disciples did not understand these things at first. And that'd be a great place to stop for just a moment. So his disciples are those who have pledged their allegiance to Jesus. They are striving in their life to love God and to follow Jesus. And in the middle of what's going on right there, as they're walking with Jesus, they don't understand what's going on. And I want to say, well, yeah, there you go. Welcome to the club. So often what we are going through in the moment is very difficult for us to make sense out of. I can think of something right now in my life that I've been going through actually for an extended period of time that I just can't make sense out of. And so I figure you're probably going through something as well that you just simply don't understand. It might be something that's just confusing. It might be something that's very painful. Nonetheless, I find comfort in this, that his disciples did not understand these things at first. And then it goes on and says, but when Jesus was glorified, then they remembered that these things had been written about him and had been done to him. And so it was later that they gained understanding. So remember, John is one of these disciples. John's the author of this gospel, and he's writing it not on the heels of the event itself. He's writing it decades later, actually as an old man, and he's recounting the life and ministry of Jesus Christ under the Spirit's inspiration, telling that story so that people throughout the generations, including us, can understand who Jesus is and put our trust and faith in him. And so here's what I love about this. As this is seemingly the story of the life of faith, at first we don't understand, but later we will understand. At some point, we will gain understanding. And here's kind of how to get to that point. I want to give you a couple of little bits of counsel, if you will. How to gain understanding. How to get to the point where you're going to get a little bit more of what's been going on in life. First, hang in there. This is what the disciples did. Like, they're not understanding, and because they didn't understand at that moment, they didn't throw up their hands and go, well, I guess I'm not going to follow Jesus anymore because I don't understand what's going on in life. So no, that's not what they did. That's not what you should do. If you don't understand, hang in there with Jesus. Secondly, search the scriptures. This is partly what they did, right? They found out later that these things had been written about him. Then after he was glorified, then they understood, oh, actually the Bible has something to say about this. So hang in there with Jesus, search the scriptures. The Bible actually invites us to pray for understanding, to go before God and ask him to help us to understand what's going on. And in his goodness and providence, in his sovereignty, he will reveal that understanding to us as we're able to handle it, as it's the right timing, as he knows it. And so hang in there with Jesus, search the scriptures, pray for understanding. The next thing I would say is talk to faithful people, people that you know are walking by faith, and ask them how it is that they've gained understanding, how it is that they have made it through some of the challenges that they've made it through. Talk with them, and there may not be a moment where all of a sudden the lights come on for you, but it would be helpful for you to hear the testimony of other faithful people. And lastly, kind of like the first one, keep walking with Jesus, right? It is a walk of faith. And by definition, in the moment, we simply will not understand everything that's going on. But we trust Jesus. We trust him with our eternal souls. We trust him to reconcile us to God forever. We trust him in the moment, that he is our good shepherd and he does lead us in right paths for his name's sake. So, if you find yourself struggling with understanding in the moment, welcome to the club. Keep walking with Jesus. God bless you.